Hey, glad you came back. So, for those of you that knew that I told her in my circles, you know that took Mama Shaw, we went down to Rockin' Baja Lobster. Now, it was disappointing, right? They changed their recipes. I like the seasoning blend that they had, so I was totally going to do a taste it, now make it, but they changed everything, so I wasn't impressed. So, then on top of that, the order in which they brought the food out, so they start off with tortillas, blah, blah, but Mama Shaw always gets fajitas, right? And they didn't bring out any tortillas with the fajitas, and it had been a while since we've been there. So she was eating it, and as we were packing our to-go boxes, it was at that point she realized she didn't wrap her food for the fajitas. Of course, she blamed it on me because I didn't say anything, but you women don't like to be told what to do, so I didn't say anything. Hey, because this is the only thing she gets when she comes here, so I thought she had it, but she didn't. But anyway, what I did is I made a Baja blend. I'm going to show you how I made the Baja blend to make this. It's delicious. I hope you try it and I hope you enjoy it. Better yet, hope she enjoys it. Delicious. Hope you enjoy this. Let's get to it. Hey, this is Shrashira. That's the best elevator music I ever heard. Okay, so the ingredients for this, I mean, there's a few parts to it, but it's pretty easy. So we're going to have some salt. I got kosher salt here. Going to have some oregano, right? Thyme, black pepper, granulated garlic, I love that stuff. Granulated onion, I like that. Some ground coriander, ground cumin, okay. Paprika. Now paprika, this is going to be the star, okay. A little bit of cayenne, red pepper, a little bit of cayenne. And then a little bit of chili powder. So let's get this together. So the first thing I want to do is work with the paprika. We want about a half a cup of paprika. Now I would use smoked paprika, but the problem with that is Mama Shaw hates smoked paprika with a passion. Now what she says is that smoked paprika smells like a auto parts store, like old leather. So she doesn't like that. Okay, so we're not going to do that. Now, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to add a tablespoon of everything else. Okay, so we got chili powder, tablespoon chili powder in. Now, Mama Shaw's going to kill me, but I think actually I'm going to put just a teaspoon of cayenne, because she will kill me. Not that it'll be necessarily too hot, but because she'll like it, and she doesn't like me introducing more heat, or introducing any heat for that matter. So she gets aggressive. So I probably won't tell her this is in there, but whatever. The ground cumin, add about almost a tablespoon of the ground cumin. Now you want to be careful with the cumin, right? Because to a lot of people, cumin smells like body odor. So you want to be careful with that. Smells like straight up old sweaty underarms. If you're one of those people, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So we're gonna put a tablespoon of cumin in here. Again, I mean, you could modify this to your taste, but this is just what I'm doing. All right. Granulated onion. Yep, tablespoon of that. Granulated garlic. Again, tablespoon. All right. Tablespoon of black pepper. Now you can also use white pepper for this too, so. But just know that white pepper is a little bit hotter than black pepper. Not much, but a little bit. It's enough for you to notice it. Okay? Thyme leaves. Tablespoon of thyme. Oregano, tablespoon. Oh! Okay, a little bit more than a tablespoon. How about that? Salt. Tablespoon of salt. And I'm using kosher salt here. Now all these are done to taste, right? So let's get this all mixed up. Now what's optional that you can add to this, you can add brown sugar to this, okay? Or white sugar. It's completely up to you. So I'm going to add some brown sugar. Yeah, I'm just going to add a nice tablespoon, little heaping tablespoon. I just want to get a little bit of that sweetness to balance it. There we go. Easy peasy. And once it's in the jar, I mean, you can shake the jar up to mix it up further, which you know I'm going to do. Alright, here we go. So there we have it. Nice. And you can continue to shake it up. Let me clean this up here. Now after I get the vegetables ready, I'm going to also prep get the meats ready. I'm going to be using shrimp, some chicken, and some steak. Alright, put the onion. Half. Take the skin off. And the little middle pit, sometimes I try to take that out. I don't always do it, but sometimes I do. You don't have to do it. Skin off. Couple layers here. One more. you? Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I want these to be nice and thinly sliced. So just cut them thin. Because for what I'm using them for tonight, I need them to be thin. See how thin that is? See that? That's what we want. I need somewhat long but yet thin slices, you know? Right, get these all in here. Separating the little rings here, or half rings. And this is stuff you can do ahead, okay? So you can do it ahead. Now I'm not going to be making this a dinner for probably another 7 hours. So this is the perfect time for me to do this. Onions there. Now we're going to do up the bell peppers. Now these onions, yon yon, if you will, go in the fridge. Till it's time to use them. Now, let's get the bell peppers going. So, I'm just going to cut around. We're basically cutting around the membrane, really, right? Because I don't want all the seeds. Seeds will stay in the middle. I want this little piece right here too. I'll clean it up. So take this little rib out. Don't want it. And the reason a lot of people don't like bell peppers is because they're bitter. They think they're bitter. The reason why they're bitter is because people leave that white rib in there. That's real bitter. So for the peanut gallery to eat this, I have to remove that. Alright, so we're just going to cut these up as thin strips. You want them to be about as thin as the onions. So when you're cutting the onions, make sure you keep in your brain meats the thickness of the onions if you can. So when you're cutting this, they'll be about the same size. That way, they'll cook at about the same time, basically. Even though we're going to be giving the onions a head start. But I do like the bell peppers to have just a little bit of crunch to them, where I like the onions to be caramelized. So when they're caramelized, they're on the softer side. You know, this is not a race. I mean, I'm doing this ahead of time so I can take my time. Right? Now these go in the fridge, and I'm going to now work on the chicken, the meats, as it were. So now for the chicken, I have some thinly sliced chicken here, right? But what I want to do is cut it into strips. Okay? Right? Just like that. See? Into strips. Now you can make these strips as wide as you want or as skinny as you want, but you want them to be uniform, right? Because again, you want this stuff to cook evenly. So about the same width. Okay, so now we got our steak here, thinly sliced steak, our chicken. We have 2 pounds of shrimp here, okay? The shells are on, the tails are on, okay? Now we're going to take our seasoning blend that we made, and we want to put about a tablespoon in each one. Maybe a tablespoon and a half for the shrimp, because what it is, 1 tablespoon for every pound of meat. Real simple, right? And now on top of that, in each one of these, we're going to add about a 1/4 cup of canola oil. Right? Now we're going to mix this up. All mixed in nicely. And the oil is going to help spread the seasonings around. Okay? Actually, I'm putting up a half a tablespoon in the shrimp. But I feel like I cheated this amount. There. Now we're good. Mix it up. Bowl, now the chicken. And these are going to be going into the refrigerator until it's time for you to use them. Let the air out of the shrimp. Smells amazing. I mean, it should. I mean, I did it. Come on. Steak going. Okay, let the air out. In the fridge it goes. So, the meats are marinating, right? They're going to be in the fridge until it's time for me to use them. Now, you can let this marinate for like minimum 30 minutes, okay? And then cook it the way you want to cook it. Me, I'm cooking this in about, at this point, about another 6, maybe 6.5 hours. So what I'm going to do is every hour or so, I'm going to go in, agitate it, right? To make sure the spices get everywhere, okay? Now there's another step once we start cooking this, and I'll show you. It involves the citrus. Now there is citrus in this, you know, lemon juice, lime juice, orange juice, and you're gonna see that as well. I don't know how much of it. I mean, you'll see me cooking it, but I don't know how much in detail I'm gonna go into extracting the juices and the zest. But you never know what I'm gonna do. So let's see what we got. See you in a bit. All right, so now for our citrus elements, I want to get the zest from an orange and some juice of an orange, the zest and juice from 1 lemon, 1 lime. And I'm going to cut the other ones up for later to use, for garnish, as it were. So now I'm just going to get some of this zest. From the orange first. You see I'm zesting from the top because you see how it's piling up on here, on the tool. Now if I was doing cheese, I would then, shave it right onto whatever I'm working with. Now I'm going to be putting this right into the container. So I don't need a lot of the zest, but I do want some. Right? Get a lime. Get some zest off the lime. Watch your fingers when you're doing this. Just a little bit of zest. Get a little bit from the lemon as well. Definitely watch your fingers and your skin when you're doing this. When you're doing it, especially if you're doing it this way. Okay, don't need a lot. Now I want the juice. I'm going to get the juice. So here, cut this orange in half. Got my little juicer here. I'm just going to press and squeeze. Press and squeeze. See? Just guts it out. And the juice goes into the bowl here. Right? Now the limes and the lemons, because their size is a little different, I just have to do those by hand. Just squeeze them right on top of here. I could use the top just to get it started, but they're just so small, it's might be better just to use your hands. Because I actually don't need a lot of juice for what I'm using it for. And this juicer will catch a lot of the pulp that comes out when you're squeezing it. See, you can see it around the edges and so forth. It'll catch it. Okay. Now we have our multi-citrus juice. Add it right in, because I want it all together. Just grab a little paper towel here, wipe my hands a bit. Now we're going to cut up our lemons and limes that we have here that are going to be used later on. And if your guests want to go that route, you want to give them some squeezables so they can add more juice if they want. And do I have a tool that can cut these wedges for me? I do. I just never use it. Maybe one day I'll let you guys see it. Use some small lemons, but and you work with what you have. And yes, there are going to be more lemons and limes because in the House of Straw, I'm pretty much the only one that really works with limes. Everybody else goes with lemons. Okay. So now the zest and the juice here, have our wedges here. Put these in the refrigerator. I'm gonna clean this up, and when we come back, we'll start cooking. All right, we're gonna put some canola oil in here so we can work these veggies. Let that warm up. All right, let's get to starting with the onions. Add the onions. Yep. We're gonna salt and pepper. Right. We want to cook this for a couple minutes. Let it soften. You're just slightly brown, translucent. And then we're going to add the bell peppers. Okay, they're softening up quite nicely here. Turn the heat up to medium. So now I'm going to add the bell peppers. Bell peppers in. Look at the wonderful colors. Salt and pepper. I'm just going to add a little bit of butter. A little bit of butter that I have melting back here. And right here, you're not charring anything. All you're doing is basically heating the bell peppers through. But you still want them to have a little bit of crunch. You don't want them to be all soggy, right? Put these in the container here. See, nice vibrant colors. Now we're going to start on the meat. The first meat I want to do is the chicken, right? A bit of canola oil back in there. Chicken's been marinating quite nicely all day. Get this going. You want to make sure your pan's hot. You don't want to put this in a cold pan. But you want to make sure that the chicken's cooked all the way through, right? Okay, and the veggies. And we're going to put these right back in there. I just want to get these nice and mixed. Alright, click. Get this wiped out. This guy. I may have to do the steak in 2 batches, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely 2 batches. Okay, in it goes. The veggies in. Alright, give this about a minute, and then we'll do the shrimp. Okay. Now finally we're going to add the shrimp. We may have to do this in a couple of batches as well. Let's see. A little bit of oil. Yeah. Make them a little crispy. About 2 minutes aside. Take some of our citrus, just douse it. And just zest it all. Right? Alright, take these shrimp out. Okay, put the next batch in. Alright, let's do on Mama Straw's plate. This guy. We would give her some steak. All right. Give her a little bit of chicken. All right. Then she gonna want a couple pieces of corn, potato, couple potatoes. Here's some shrimp.
Because literally, the drive said 45,
Okay.
right? It said 45. I said, I'm going to 45. I said, sort of thinking max.
You're gonna make sure that she has tortillas.
I burned out my own card and everything else. She cussed me out. She was like, "Real?" I think I said, all right, then. Burn her card, switch it to my card. And did the same thing too.
Okay. All right, let's see what we got. So here we have it. Yep. I had to go ahead and do my own fajitas since Rockin' Baja let us down so much. But here we go. Everything is all set. Let me get this to Mama Shaw while it's still good to go.